Biashara Tuesday on KUTV's Rise. Today, I'm still seeing your feedback. Send it to us all across our SMS/WhatsApp numbers that are broadcast on your screen at KUTV Kenya at Richard_Okenya. I am seeing, let me read a bit of that. Good morning, nice conversations going on. This is coming from Sylvia. Tell us where you're tuning from, and thank you very much as well. Give us your feedback on those skills of expenditure that you have as you head out towards these festivities. Okay, huku upande wa Gatundu North, we are watching. Thank you very much, and kindly tell me your name even as you send in your feedback. James Mbui, who is the CEO, Amika Savings and Credit. Did I get that right? Yes. Thank you very much for joining me on set.
Thank you, sir.
We are trying to see what it is that, what the environment looks like for us. We're coming from a very tough period, or we are still in a very tough period. How does spending in this coming period differ from last year and the previous seasons?
Thank you very much for that question. We find ourselves in an economy that is ravaged by COVID-19. And it has been with us now for several months, I think, since March this year. That's about 10 months or so. And many people are out of jobs, or some people have experienced pay cuts and so on and so forth. The economy has not been doing very well. Businesses have been affected. And therefore, this is a year, or this is a Christmas that where people are not going to be spending as much money as they have been spending in the past, because the money is not there. Remember, the children have been at home, and when the children are at home, you know what happens. The consumption rates are very high, and because of the problems of lack of incomes, the children are supposed to be going back in the next, I think, few weeks. They are supposed to be back in school. So many parents are torn between, do I keep money to take my children to school, or do I enjoy the Christmas festivities and so on and so forth? So it is not exactly the same as it has been in the past. But of course, there's one very important thing to think about. There is a period of pre-COVID, during COVID, and post-COVID. And when you talk about pre-COVID, one of the things that we need to address ourselves is, did we plan? And when we talk about financial planning, we are always talking about planning ahead of time, planning for emergencies, planning for even for festivity seasons, and planning. Right. Now, people who had planned for this festivity period, they are definitely in a much better situation than those who did not plan. There are also those people who plan for emergencies, who had a fund. Although now, usually when we talk about planning for emergencies, we usually say that you need to keep some money that can take you for a period of about 6 months if you are not out of a job, or your business is doing badly. But of course, now we are finding ourselves in a situation where this COVID has been with us for 10 months and is likely to be with us for another 1 year or so.
Right.
And therefore, we are in very unprecedented times.
How do we navigate these unprecedented times where people have lost their sources of livelihood?
The way to do that, there are certain things that you have to do. One, budget within what you have.
Okay.
And when you budget within what you have, it means that you don't have to follow tradition. You don't have to do things the way you have always done them. If you have always gone for a holiday abroad, and you don't have enough money to take you abroad, don't have to insist that you have to go abroad. If you have always also gone to up country, you also have to ask yourself, even if I had the money, do I really want to go up country? Because by going up country, there is also the risk, we keep being told by the Minister of Health, the risk of going to infect those people who are up country.
Right.
So therefore, we are in times that are very, very unusual. We don't have to do things the way we have always done them. Yeah.
And so we have to do things a bit
differently. Be practical, look at the situation that you find yourself in, and then do that which makes sense.
At Amika Savings and Credit, in regards to the conversation that we're having this moment, what is it that is being done towards that?
Now, at Amika Savings and Credit, we usually have many products. Like, we have one product called Future Savings Account. And future savings account is an account that enables you to save in advance, save as you earn. If you know you spend about 20,000 shillings every Christmas period, you can save 2,000 shillings for the 12 months,
Right.
and you have 24,000 shillings when Christmas time comes, and then you continue doing that. So we give them that. The other thing is that we are giving people some advances against their pays, like pay for your milk, pay for your coffee. Like we have very many people who are coffee farmers, and they usually are paid around January, February, March, April there. So you can come and take an advance. Take an advance, take care of your people during Christmas season, and also plan for school fees, because school fees is coming very soon. And you know, usually the danger with many people is that it's like they kind of discover Christmas is here with us.
Suddenly,
And they had not even actually thought about it. And they get into spending. Impulse buying, you have to buy new clothes, you have, you know, especially almost everybody suffers from this thing we call peer pressure.
Right. You see someone else with
The
something,
old,
and
the young, you know, the young people want to buy the best phones.
Right.
They want to drive the best cars to the village. They want to, you want the ladies who
Go to
want
the
to buy
best
new
parties.
shoes and best parties and blah, 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 and the best holidays and so on. Please do what you are able to do. And so again, you discover 2-3 weeks later, again you discover, you are surprised that you are supposed to be paying school fees.
Right. And you do not have that money.
And
now.
you don't have that money, you didn't think about it. So it's always good to plan and to budget well ahead of time.
Right.
Yeah.
There is the culture of saving is not something that we observe often among the youth, and especially in this period that has unprecedented times, saving is becoming a real challenge. How does someone ensure that they save to enable them to budget later on, even with the little, when you find yourself in a situation where expenditure is a lot, even the necessary expenditure that you require, but now you cannot save even the little that you have? How do you navigate out of such a dilemma and situation?
Definitely, when you are living in tough times, you also must adjust accordingly. If you used to earn 10,000 and you are now earning 5,000, you really must adjust. You ask yourself, people who earn little money and they are able to survive one way or another, these people clothe, these people eat, these people pay rent, these people do everything. You really must learn to adjust. Because remember, there are things that are not going to stop happening. Children must still go to school, and you must pay school fees. Children must still eat. But if you are, if you had to have a meal with meat every day, then you can decide to take meat twice in a week.
So you reduce your spending in such
You reduce your spending. If you are taking your children to very expensive schools and you no longer can afford, there are still schools that are good enough and you don't have to pay so much money. If you are driving to work, you can decide to use public transport. There are always alternatives. If you really look out for them, alternatives are there. And that can help you adjust your expenditure accordingly.
How does Amica Savings and Credit come into all this now?
Yeah. Now, you know, Amica Savings and Credit, as our name is that we help people to save. Save for certain eventualities, save for school fees, save for Christmas, save for a wedding, save to pay dowry, save to do many things, especially the things that you don't have to borrow for. We are always encouraging people to avoid borrowing when you can actually be able to save. But now, when it comes to other needs that you may have, like you want to buy a car, you want to buy a plot, you want to build a house, you want to take your children abroad for further education, that time you can take a long-term loan, because we have several long-term loans. You can take a long-term loan for 5 years, for 3 years, for 2 years, for so on and so forth. That is where we come in, where we enable you to plan for your life. Plan, because you know the life of a human being is about the things that they need in life,
Right.
isn't it?
Yeah,
you need to educate your children, you need to buy a house, you need
to have
blah,
a
blah, blah.
health.
You have health, you pay, you buy insurance for your medical, and generally plan and budget and
Around the things that you need.
the same things that you need, yes.
Right, even as we try to finish this particular engagement, because the time is not on our side, what is the procedure that someone has to follow through to get involved with what you guys have at Amica Savings and Credit?
Our procedure is very short. Is just take a form, and you can go to our website, www.amicacs.co.ke. You download a form, and for an individual account, and you open an Amican account,
Right.
and you pay you pay about 3,000 shillings, which is shares, because we are a cooperative society. Then start saving regularly, or start even depositing your cash for your business, and with your ID only and
Right.
your PIN certificate, you are done. It's
Now
as
the last
simple as that.
question
Yeah.
is from a viewer. He's called D Max. My name is Max. My name is Max, and he's asking that, okay, good topic, but Mr. Mbui, how can we handle the planning ahead of time with the high-tech rate of taxation, and how can we plan for emergencies at the same time plan for emergencies as a result of the pandemic?
Now, what I've just said is that the pandemic is here with us, and it's a reality that we must live with. Whatever amount of money you have, again, remember that when this pandemic came, the government reduced the taxes, I think from highest of 30% to about 25% for individual taxes, pay as you want. But now they're taking it back to 30%. In fact, we have had a relief of a whole almost going to 1 year now, about 10 months. So what I actually want to advise people is that, can you adjust, because some of the money that was disposable income now in 2020 is no longer going to be disposable income, because it's going to go back to government.
Right.
So we have to begin thinking how to adjust ourselves. I only hope that money, we saved it, we never consumed it. Because if we saved it, then there is something that we did. It could be we now have enough money for school fees, or even for festivities, or so on and so forth.
Right. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Mr. Mbui, who is the CEO of Amica Savings and Credit. We are trying to understand how it looks like for budgeting and spending for you this season. You've been told that budget within your means, within the money that you have, and of course plan ahead, and make sure that you reduce those expenditures that are not necessary. But for now, we're taking a short break. I'll be coming back to close the show, but stay tuned to KUTV Rise Today. I'll be back after a short while. Right. Thank you very much for tuning in to KUTV's Rise Today, Biashara Tuesday. You've been with me since around 7 in the morning. We are now at it's exactly 8:30 in the morning. Later on, we're coming back with Elimu Live. For those students who are at home, we will be having a teacher here to do mathematics. So get your calculators, your geometrical sets ready, and be prepared for mathematics. We've been trying to understand how it looks like for Kenya in terms of the external look into Kenya. We had Dr. Eric Balen joining us all the way from Malaysia to help us understand what it looks like for the economy in terms of the challenges and the collective solutions into the future. Amica Savings and Credit CEO was here with me to help me understand how to budget and plan for the holiday, and of course the post-COVID-19 outlook for you as well into the future. The head of sales for Jamii, for telecommunication company, to help us, of course, as well understand exactly how it looks like for us in this COVID-19 era. Catch me next week on Tuesday for this on the same place on the 22nd of December. We'll be having a very special show for you here on Biashara Tuesday. But for now, as I head out, he who thinks he is a leader and walks alone is not a leader. Stay tuned.
Get to the money, my nigga, let's press. Every day's activity. Get to the mullah, my nigga, let's press. Every day's activity. Get to the pesa, my nigga, let's press. Every day's activity. Listen up, brother from another mother. What for my mama? Get to the guala quick for a show. Nip is so that's for show. In a show, I'm a show, nigga. Like a dream, I'm a dreamer. Call me Luther King. Last name Kunta, African King, nigga.
Kwa mara ya kwanza katika runinga nchini Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa saa 2:15 hadi saa 4:15 asubuhi. Msururu wa masomo